Good job.
Thanks, everybody. So I guess we'll call this meeting to order. If I can have a motion to begin.
Second.
We have a special meeting tonight to hear from Envision St. John. And Erin Till, your deputy mayor, as your mayor can't be here tonight, I believe she's at a DEC meeting, if I'm not mistaken, a District Education Council, so she sends her regrets. But the rest of us are really pleased to hear from Paula Hicks, who's here from Envision St. John, to give us a presentation on their strategic vision. So, do I have a motion to? Oh, minute, we're good.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Members of council, I'm really pleased to be back in Bay-Westfield. It's a beautiful community, and so glad again to have the opportunity to present our first inaugural strategic vision for Envision St. John. So picture this: a generation from now, the St. John region's population has soared. People are drawn to our community for great career opportunities and the desired quality of life. We are known as global leaders in key business sectors. Our place brand is strong and our residents are proud ambassadors. Ultimately, all of our children and grandchildren, if they so wish, can have the opportunity to choose New Brunswick to live and work. Our strategic vision is designed to help us achieve this. So I'd like to start off by defining our success. In 10 years, what does this look like? So our 10-year outcomes that we'd like to see our population grow by 25,000 residents in our region. We'd like to see our tax revenue, which is increasing our municipal tax, property tax by 30 to 35%. That actually is correlated into growth of people living here, not just the bills increasing by 30 to 35%. And we'd also like to have a stronger place brand so that our community is highly regarded and people are proud ambassadors. So those are key outcomes that this plan is trying to deliver from a future back perspective. So not only will we see the results, but we will feel them. Not only will we focus on the tangible outcomes, we are also focused on the intangible, the things that we can feel in the community. It's vitality, busy restaurants, festivals, festivals that fill our calendars, cranes in the sky, and development in our region. So why the St. John region? A vibrant city at its core. Personal balance with both our urban experience and our natural wonders. Steeped in history with strong pride of place, a place where anyone can establish roots and grow. A shared vision for growth. The growth in our region will depend on the growth of their core, recognizing that if the city is strong, then our region is strong and New Brunswick is strong. We are so pleased to be here tonight to present the inaugural strategic plan, which is a huge milestone, but another milestone to celebrate is the standing up of this agency, and we thank you for the support of that. All 6 municipalities are aligned and working towards this greater good. We are being watched by many, including the Premier's office and other regions, to emulate what we're doing. How we do this work will be different. We are a new model for economic growth, and partnership is key. Our role at Envision St. John will be to create the conditions for growth. Once we have that momentum, it will create a cycle of growth that more and more people will want to get in on a good thing and want to come here. Our value proposition at Envision St. John is that we are an agency that will be accelerating regional growth by connecting innovators, entrepreneurs, and builders to get stuff done now. So I'd like to go through our guiding principles, and this is something that, from a team perspective and a board perspective, we really spent a lot of time to be thoughtful about. So from an agency perspective, our first guiding principle, in service. So we recognize that we are here to serve others. As an agency, we're committed to having a whole system view, so looking at what the whole region requires and how we can look at the larger picture, both from an alignment perspective as well as from an opportunity perspective. We are an agency that will be agile, looking at shared experiences, iterative learning, and monitoring it to catalyze the execution. I want to focus on gratitude because that's not a typical guiding principle that you would see in a business environment, but it's one I think that's really important to our agency and to our region. So gratitude is really about appreciating the good things that are in our region. And trust me, there are so many good things. You know, living on the Bay of Fundy, our river system, our natural assets that we already have to build a strong economy is in place. So really, the gratitude piece is really something that's really important from my perspective as leading the organization. And then authenticity. So, you know, looking at who we are, that's really from a strength-based approach, that we're leaning in again to those natural assets, you know, with a growth mindset and really, you know, focusing on a sense of belonging as it relates to our community. So from an agency perspective, we have 3 strategic priorities that we've identified. The first being growth readiness. So this is how well will the region anticipate and prepare for its growth. And in this particular category, you know, we put things like jobs. How do we make sure that we're preparing and recognizing what are the jobs that are needed? Whether that is current businesses that are here that are looking to grow and need a talent pipeline or attracting new businesses. What does the real estate market look like from a housing perspective? How are we working with our developers? From a healthcare perspective, do we have enough doctors? Are we ticking all the boxes that we need to tick, not only to attract people, but how do we retain people? And these are very key things as it relates to the growth strategy for population growth. The next one is talent acquisition and pipeline. So we know a complex strategy to grow the working population is critical, which includes a strategy around immigration, bringing New Brunswickers home, and a retention plan. Entrepreneurship and business growth. So we know that assisting startups to scale up and to access capital and to support our businesses with growth is absolutely critical. We're looking to engage our entrepreneurs and our leaders to create the potential for an innovation play for our region. We have 4 key services that the agency will offer. And those core services are metrics and measurements. So we know that, you know, we have to be an agency that curates the data, that we're using data to make good decisions, and we're sharing that with the region. Marketing and sales, we know that a big part of our role is always selling why St. John, why the St. John reason, why come here, why stay here, whether that's to businesses, to visitors, or to new residents. And we really have to articulate our value proposition. So, you know, there will be a big part of our work that is really around the marketing and the sales. Investor relations, you know, I'm here tonight for that very reason. It's important for us to engage with our investors because we're very appreciative of our investors, but also that we are presenting opportunities and we're also presenting risk. Communication and stakeholder relations, so be a lead role for the knowledge sharing and communication for opportunities that affect the health of our economy for our region. So just at a high level, you can see just as a snapshot, you can see Envision St. John in the middle. Our core services are linked, and then you can see our strategic priorities are linked. And they all drive to the North Star, which be increase our population, increase the tax base, and then improve our brand perception. So you can see that we're very focused on what we're trying to achieve. So with that said, how are we going to do it? So the agency is actually introducing a new model for growth, and we're calling it a platform methodology. So this is where we map the ecosystem, convene strategic platforms for areas of opportunity, set specific growth goals, projects, and timelines. We bring the right people to the table to identify clear objectives. We act as a catalyst and convener to accelerate the work. It is a collective impact model for both complex and acute problems. So just to give you a quick example of what we mean by platforms as we build out the model, there are a couple already that we have in play. So the first one you will recall because you were part of the success, which was winning the Memorial Cup for our region for 2022. So we found out in June of 2021 that we had 5 weeks to bid on the Memorial Cup, and we were up against Quebec City. So in that 5-week period, we worked with the St. John Sea Dogs as the lead, and then we brought the players to the table to say, let's take a look at this opportunity. How do we look at the funding? How would we structure this? You know, what is our value proposition? Really understanding who we're competing with, and we put our pitch forward. And that really was done from a platform model perspective. Were we meant to win that bid? Probably not, because Quebec City was considered the Goliath, but we went into this very authentically, selling who we are. And as you know, we won that bid. So it was an early win and success for us. The other platform that we've been working on as we build the agency is the transformational project at Port St. John with the modernization and the announcement of CP Rail coming back to St. John. And we have formed a workforce employment group with PEDAL. The agency is working with all the partners at the port, including the union, all the employers as it relates to what does the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years look like as it relates to the growth of the port, which could mean 250 jobs, 500 jobs, up to 800 jobs over that span of time. So how do we ramp up and work with partners like the community college, the District 8, the Learning Exchange, UNB, to really think of thoughtfully about a workforce strategy so that we can meet the needs that the growth is going to happen in that area. So those are just two examples of platforms that we have developed and worked in partnership with the ecosystem in our community. So I'm going to open it up to questions because the biggest message that we have from the AG is how can we help? We are here to serve, we are here to understand the needs of our region, our communities, and then how we roll that out for growth overall for our community. So over to you for questions.
Thank you, Bud. I really appreciate it. I know we've seen a lot of the work that you've been doing, the down by the bay type. I know everybody's very familiar with that, which was excellent. So that was a good introduction to your agency from us. But, so does anybody have any questions? I know Jim, you're the population growth chair,
Yes.
so I'm sure you're probably checking that.
I have a few. I don't know all of the time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Paulette, welcome to our wonderful town.
Thank you.
Imagine a town called Bay-Westfield with 200 or 300 more families. We have the same vision that Envision St. John has. We're very pleased to be part of Envision St. John. The question that I have for you is, how can we, as a new council and the administration, assist with boots on the ground with implementing some of your strategies and tactics? And as you know, they hopefully will be aligning with our own strategic plan, which is being developed, our economic development plan, which is being developed at the same author of Envisions. But in previous years, we have, in my opinion, we haven't had real boots on the ground to work with whoever the partners were. So is there something that you see thus far that you can start to prepare for?
I do, so thanks, great question. So I'd start off by saying be engaged, and out of the gate I would say you get an A+. John and Zwen, who is at the table, your representative at the board, he's plugged in, he pulls up, he participates, he clearly articulates not only the vision for Grand Bay, but how it fits into the bigger vision. So that abundance thinking is there. So I would say that is, a great first step. What I would say is that really that alignment of understanding what your needs are and how it relates to the region and then how it relates to New Brunswick. Because I think at the end of the day, we're all trying to get, New Brunswick to grow and understanding our piece, but it all boils down to the pieces that we need. So I think the alignment is critical, and I think investment ready. I think, as we look at opportunities, our role at the agency is hopefully to give you a forecast for some opportunities that will be coming, whether that is expansion or new businesses or more students coming to the university, because there is a growth path there. There are going to be needs, and being able to give you that sight line, and then when people come into the community, that you are investment ready and good ambassadors, continue to be good ambassadors as to say, why Grand Bay-Westfield?
And what is our value proposition?
Yes, yeah.
Compared to our regional partners?
Yeah, that you fit in, yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
I know you, thank you for that. It was very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to working with you. I know you mentioned the Sea Dogs bid and the port project. Are there any other projects on the horizon that you can comment on that you may be able to get in on?
Yeah. So there are lots of things that are happening in our region. We are seeing, obviously, I would believe that New Brunswick became desirable overnight. That was one of the silver linings as it relates to the pandemic. We have a number of companies that are looking at New Brunswick right now for home-based positions, so you can work anywhere. So it is a draw to bring a lot of people out of Ontario and Quebec. I would say there's a lot of people that are moving to our area that can work anywhere. We have a couple of companies that are accelerating some growth and are actually expanding their footprint in New Brunswick for New Brunswick jobs as well. There's an announcement with CIBC for our region of another 100 jobs. It was their first investment was in Fredericton, but they're now just moving into this region, which will connect all 6 of our municipalities together. So I'm working with them on that opportunity that actually is happening over the next couple of weeks. UMBSJ is on an aggressive path as well as it relates to digital health and integrated health. They have a forecast of attracting 500 more students as well as research doctors. So I think, there's a lot of tie-in around what that looks like. And then our companies, obviously, from a talent perspective, they are looking for more students and how we work on different files so that we are filling those gaps so that they can continue to grow. So lots of things happening in the energy sector, again, the port I've talked about, in the education sector. So we're now bringing together what we call brain trust, people that are working in their ecosystems and their sector around the table so that we can talk about what are the opportunities, but at the same time we're saying, what are your barriers to growth? And those are some of the key areas that we're looking at as it relates to the role of the agency.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But more to come, because this is where we get into the work.
John?
I'm good.
I just have a quick one. You mentioned a little bit about your work with PEDAL and government. Is there anything else? How's your relationship with the provincial government? And you mentioned some support. Just a bit of
Yeah. So what I would say is that the provincial government is watching us. We are the first region to come together under a regional model. Envision St. John is working really closely with Fredericton and Moncton because they are also looking at emulating the model that we have. So we have good relationships with the provincial government, really understanding our goals in the region as it relates to growth. We are working with our partners at PEDAL, with Opportunities New Brunswick, Working New Brunswick. So we have those partnerships in play. And we also have a really solid partnership with COA. They are looking at our region as it relates to priority files and what's going to move the needle for growth as well. So we've got a number of files that we're working on in the tourism space as well as in programs for entrepreneurs. We launched a program just a couple of weeks ago with Planet Hash in Fredericton, which is a similar agency that support entrepreneurs and startups. So we're actually breaking down more silos. So, we're going to be able to support our programs for our local entrepreneurs and expand our programming into Fredericton because of, virtual and vice versa. Their entrepreneurs and startup companies will be able to plug into some of our programs. So we are starting to take a more provincial view on things. So our partnerships, we would say out of the gate that again is another guiding principle for us is that alignment that, St. John grows, the region grows, New Brunswick grows, and then Atlantic Canada, but it really is really understanding our opportunities.
How do you see the local government reform affecting your progress or your work?
Well, we hope it's going to complement it. We have come together as a region, really by working together, which I think demonstrates the model and the investment that people are coming together with. The regional reform hopefully will bring even a stronger force together as it relates to both investment, but also that, again, we're looking at strategies overall. But we're really focused on the economic piece and attracting, we call them our attraction pillars, attracting people, visitors, and businesses to our region. Well, I'm glad you like St. John and Towns by the Bay. We were pretty excited. We were pretty excited to put that together, and I'll just give you a bit of history on it. Obviously, the tourism space we knew going into this summer would be highly competitive, and we deliberately decided to be disruptive because it was not a typical tourism campaign. It was authentically us. I think everyone saw themselves in that campaign. And it had an interesting it resonated with people in an interesting way, both locally, because people saw themselves, but actually we got great feedback from people coming in from Ontario and Quebec, because it was disruptive, and it did show a different side of our region. And it's interesting, even showing the ferries, people actually would write us and say, I just want to come and ride, I can't believe they're free, I just want to do that. And it was, I think, about 2 weeks after we launched the video, that the province of New Brunswick put the tourism logo on the ferries, which was really lovely. We felt that was a compliment. Yeah.
Further question, Belinda. The Fundy Trail Parkway has just been completed after 25 long years. Are you getting lots of inquiries through various channels about either moving here or coming to see it, or what is this Fundy Trail Parkway? How can that help play in your marketing efforts?
So that is the jewel of Atlantic Canada, and it has to be positioned as such. It is, something very significant for New Brunswick, and it's in our backyard. So a couple things. Visitation is up significantly. New Brunswickers fell in love with it because we were locked in New Brunswick for a couple of years, so people have really explored nature. And developers are knocking. People are really wanting to understand what is that opportunity in that region as it relates to supporting the growth of the Fundy Trail. And working very closely with the team and the Village of St. Martin's as well, who are part of our regional investors. It is absolutely a jewel, and we've seen numbers skyrocket year over year. So great opportunity there. Only good things to come. It is actually, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty stunning.
I have a quick question too, just about, local entrepreneurs. We talk a lot about trying to attract companies from us, or trying to bring people here, but those who are here and looking to grow or change, is there a role for your agency?
There is. So we actually run some programs right now for local entrepreneurs too. We call it 101, Starting Your Business. And then we have an impact loan program that people that do have businesses they want to start, they can apply for an impact loan. And then in the rural communities, it's under the CBDC, but we have partnerships with them so that people are looking for business loans. So we can help them navigate. So Envision St. John really is about what are the businesses that you're looking at for your community. So that would be one thing I would even say from what can this community do. It's almost even do a list of, here are the 10 businesses that we would love to have, right? What are the amenities that new residents and to grow your population that you would need? And our agency, we can help match that. We have a lot of entrepreneurs that think of all kinds of business ideas, but if communities want certain businesses, how do we match that up? And then we have programs that go in behind that and support that. And we've really built out our partnership with Entrepreneur System, our partners. So we're working with Propel from an Atlantic Canada perspective. We're working with UMBSJ. We're working with Tech Impact. So we're starting to really work with that ecosystem that is in that space, and then what is our value prop from an agency, but really we're here to serve the whole region.
That's fantastic.
So I was just wondering, Claire, could you expand on, just for council's benefit, like the partnership with Connection Works as an example, that Envision St. John isn't necessarily the driver or the agent, but more the connection, and how Connection Works is a part of that as well as these other partners.
Yeah, absolutely. So the agency really acts as a navigator. So we should be the intake of folks saying, I'm thinking about starting a business, or I need to take a business course. So whether you're a new resident, we have programs for immigrants, we have programs for women, people that want to start businesses, and then there is financial loans that can be attached if they qualify. But the programming, we recognize as an agency, well, we don't work in this space, we want to work with the entrepreneurs. So Connection Works actually formed close to, I think, 11 years ago, and it is a common space, a collision space, that they run programs out of that space. So we work with Connection Works, we work with UMBSJ, we work with the MBA program. So we have a number of programs and partners that we're just continuing to look to expand. Connection Works is also looking at partnerships with other, I mentioned Planet Hatch in Fredericton, but there are other ecosystems throughout Atlantic Canada that we can plug into. And that's the great thing about virtual. A lot of these programs now can be done virtually, so you actually have more to offer our community and our region.
Thank you. Any more questions? No? was absolutely fantastic. Thank you. I know that we're all excited and really pleased that we have such a great agency we can work with to help us push things forward and kind of move our needle as well. And your goals really do align with ours. So it's a fantastic opportunity. Congratulations on what you've done so far.
Thank you, I really appreciate the special meeting and look forward to giving lots of updates. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
We just need a motion to receive and file the report from the Vision St. John.
So moved.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And also, is a motion to
All
adjourn?
those in favor?
All those in favor? We need a vote. And I guess a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Business. Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you very much, everyone, for the special meeting.